But yeah, so that brings the end to that segment for our recap. Let's wash away that week. You may be celebrating, but
I am
let's
celebrating.
forget
Yes.
about it, Kyle.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
And let's reflect still about it. Let's go around with our studs and duds of the game, and I'll start with you, Kyle, again. Who are your
That was
studs?
actually it's a little hard this week, Nicole. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mhm.
I there's a lot I could pick apart about this game. A lot that wasn't good, to be quite honest with you. I'm gonna go reverse. I'm actually gonna start with my dud before I go with my stud. I've said it before. It's gonna be Kyle Pitts again. There was a lot that was bad this week, but it's really tough because you're not really sure what the Atlanta Falcons should do in this direction. Like, we have multiple tight ends in our roster, right? We have Anthony Fursker, we have Kyle Pitts, Parker Hesse, and stuff like that. And to be quite honest with you, like, especially with drafting 4th overall Kyle Pitts, like, he's not much better than the guys that are playing that, were picked in like the 6th or 7th rounds, right? Mm-hmm. So he's not living up to the expectations. So, I think personally, and clip this if you want, it's time to kind of get off the fact that he is the unicorn. He might have a blowout season. He might. But I'm more so just, looking at a consecutive tight end that, I want him to at least do what he's supposed to do in that position. I want him to move around in the middle of the field. I want him to, block when he's supposed to block and stuff like that at the very least. Could we have done better? Maybe. But at the same time, at least our tight end is playing the tight end position, and that's all I really can ask. So overall, he's had 1 touchdown. I think he only got 9 passing yards in that game. It's unfortunate, but he definitely is going to be my dud. My stud is probably going to be Marcus Mariota. Again, he week in and week out, yeah, Alex said it the best. It's nice to have a mobile quarterback, to be quite honest with you. Yes. It's something that I really haven't seen in like a long time, and I'm getting a little bit spoiled with it this season for sure, considering, even with Matt Ryan getting benched this week, right, with Indianapolis Colts.
Was he for you? He was with you guys, right?
Matt Ryan? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was with us for a while.
He was with Atlanta.
Yeah, he was there. But yeah, Mariota's been doing really well. I said it last week. I don't want to get blindsided and think that, he's going to be the answer, but he's definitely a really good addition right now until we figure out what we're going to be doing with our quarterback pool. But I'm going to give him the star this week for sure. He's probably the only reason why we even had a chance in that game.
It's not what I said last week about him, was it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sean?
Yeah,
what
for
you got
me,
for the Panthers, yeah.
For me, my stud is the whole team because, we beat Tampa Bay. I feel great. Everybody gets it. No. For me, my stud has to be my running backs. Dante Foreman, Chuba Hubbard. Dante had over 100 and over 100 yards on the ground. Chuba had 63, but both of them had over 7 yards a carry. That means each time we're touching the ball, we're getting solid gains. And that was huge because number one thing I said, the only way we were going to beat a Tom Brady was to keep him off the field, continually running that ball, especially with the loss that we took, which was a major loss. Being able to run that ball is a huge thing. And it kind of hid any of the, faults or shortcomings of PJ Walker. So definitely was great. Definitely the team went behind Chuba Hubbard and Dante Foreman. So those were my studs. My duds, we know Robbie Anderson got traded. And shout out to DJ Moore. DJ Moore did everything he could do with 7 catches for almost 70 yards. But that's it. There is nobody else that had over 2 receptions on the team. Like, we had no real passing game. I mean, PJ only had 177 yards, but our receivers were my duds. I understand. Look, we were 1-5 coming into this game, so we're only 2-5, and this is, a great victory and everything like that. And I'm not gonna overlook all the issues that we do have, So this is going to be interesting because we can't just rely on DJ Moore to do it all. So I need my receivers, Terrence Marshall, Tremble, them kind of guys, Laviscus, Chenault, my guy. I need these guys to show up. So right now, the wide receivers for Carolina are my duds.
Do you think, Sean, with everything that's been going on with Carolina, and I think it's pretty safe to say now that it is a full rebuild at this point, right? Mm-hmm. Do they keep DJ Moore, and is it viable going forward in the future? And then I guess on top of that, what do you get if you are considering trading DJ Moore?
Right. Well, and that's the thing. That's why I think you do keep him, because let's be honest. I don't know that you get a first rounder. I mean, maybe you get a second round, or maybe you get help down the line. But yeah, right, exactly. So is it beneficial? Because you got to think about pieces. Look, we already know we're going to talk about it. CMC got traded to San Francisco. Robbie Anderson got traded to Arizona. But then they also, people were calling to ask about our stud defensive lineman, Brian Burns.
Yeah.
And there was talks that there was 2 first-round picks on the table to get him. And we denied that. So there is something to be said for keeping pieces. You know what I mean? Keeping foundational pieces. And I think between DJ Moore and Brian Burns, I think they are foundational pieces. So I think if you're going to try to work this out any way you can, you got to keep something. And those are pieces that can definitely help you. Yes.
I don't know. Jason. I think it's foolish, man. I think I get 2 first-round picks, though.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what? I get it. You're trying to build a team. Brian Burns is definitely he's a playmaker, right? He's really good on the defense. He's definitely one of the solid pieces there. But was it 2 2023 first round picks? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems kind of foolish in my opinion, because there's a lot of teams that you're not a lot of players, even for that matter, where you're not going to get 2 first round picks.
Exactly.
So
how many rounds are there?
Sorry?
7.
Oh, okay.
7 right yeah.
Okay.
So first round has super, super value. And we're talking from the end of first round to the beginning of the second round. That gap and what these guys get paid is astronomical. So if you get in the first round, you're getting some money.
That makes so much more sense, and this just blew my mind because now I understand.
Discovery.
Okay.
Nicole, I want you to elaborate a bit. Please do.
Yes.
This touches back on my other discovery that I'm going to do coming up here.
Okay.
About now I understand some people who get drafted 6th draft. Yeah. Okay, cool. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm blown away. I lost my train of thought.
I love it. Who are your studs and duds? Who do you have?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I've been picking some themes. I've had some kickers, and my theme kind of coming around a little bit is I'm going to talk about linebackers.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about my stud, Demario Davis. He's number 56. So far, he has solo tackles of 23. He's had 5 sacks. So he's been eating lunch. 1 against the Panthers, 1 against the Bucks.
Thanks.
Got Tom Brady. 2 against Burrows to hold that over,
go ahead. You guys all get a week. You guys get a week.
Let's go.
And 1 against the Cardinals. So this guy, he's a production. He's the full cast. This is huge because with sacks, it's normally a loss of yards with the other team's offense, which can be the difference between winning a game or not.
He's the cat's meow.
And he's a team captain. He only missed 1 game and played 160 regular seasons contests with 146 starts for the Saints, Jets, and Browns. Wow. So he's a dedicated person, and I guess he's been healthy because he only missed 1 game.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that. Good.
I could go on and on with him, but there is some kind of cool thing I learned about him is the Dining with Davies is an event at A.L. Davis Park and in Kenner, where they served a sit-down dinner to select local residents. The event was designed to promote and encourage family dinner time. Davis enlisted teammates in November for his first annual Dining for Dreams. So it's a celebrity waiter dinner event to raise money for the foundation as well as for Hurricane Ida reliefs for the locally.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so he's my
Cool.
spotlight. For my duds, obviously, I think you guys know who it's going to be is Andy Dalton.
Oh wow, why? I'm curious. Can you
The
please
highs and the
elaborate?
lows. The 2 interceptions, maybe that kind of turned into touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I do have to say, one of the interceptions I was looking at was thrown good, but to Callaway, the receiver, who deflected it off his body and into someone else. And that raised a good question maybe for you guys is how do interceptions weigh on quarterbacks versus wide receivers? Even though I feel like the QB gets because this is my dud, right? So how much does that responsibility weigh on one another? Because one was clearly a little bit weight on the receiver, but I still heard a lot of fuss about is just Andy Dalton.
Do you want me to go first, Sean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to use an example from a previous game actually this week. Did anybody catch, the rest of the Tampa Bay and Carolina game with what Mike Evans did?
I saw him talking to the refs after the game.
Okay.
Oh,
so Tom Brady launched.
I saw that. I saw that too.
Must be a Tampa Bay thing. No, just
yeah.
So Tom Brady threw a long bomb to Mike Evans, right? And it was honestly, it was probably one of the best throws of the game. Mike Evans didn't catch it. What he did is he fumbled it in his hands and he dropped it. Okay. So I guess to revert the question back to kind of before I go on, does that make it a bad throw or is that a bad catch? To me, it's not a catch, obviously, but that's on the receiver then, right?
Yeah.
You placed it right into his hands, but he can't catch it. So in my opinion, Nicole, I think it's really dependent. Now, it's kind of tough because it could fall on the quarterback if there's a better throw, right? So again, I'm not sitting there on the sidelines analyzing, what targets are there, when Andy Dalton could throw, right? But, potentially if there's a better target, then yeah, like Andy Dalton maybe could have thrown to a better target. Maybe it's a better idea. But if I'm going to be completely transparent, if I was giving it my honest analysis, the wide receiver's job is to catch the ball. Simple as that. You know what I mean? If you get it anywhere in the vicinity of the wide receiver, it is his job to catch the ball. Now, not every throw is going to be a spiral. Not every throw is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But your job as the wide receiver, which is pretty much your only job besides, running a route, is to catch the ball. The quarterback has a lot to do. The quarterback is always on his toes, and he's controlling the play. So honestly, in that particular scenario, I think that particular interception would be on the wide receiver.
Yeah,
cool.
I know. I absolutely agree. I mean, you'll see throws where the quarterback will throw it, and you're like, where were you even throwing it? I mean, example, Super Bowl 30, the Cowboys played the Steelers. Neil O'Donnell's trying to come back in this game with the Steelers, and he throws 2 interceptions to Larry Brown, and there was no Steelers receivers anywhere near. That's on the quarterback. But in these situations where it hits the receivers, just like Kyle said, you have one job: catch the ball. It hit them right in their hands, and it bounced off them. I think that's on the receiver. A lot of people will joke about, it hit the guy in this worst possible place in his hands, because it's the joke that, you should be catching it. You teach the kids to catch with your hands and not, don't let the ball hit your chest, because if it hits your pad, that might then cause it to bounce off.
So I never thought about that.
Yeah, so you want to hit it. You want to definitely catch it with your hands, or at least slow it down so you'll be able to control it that way. So when it gets into the wide receiver hands and then it bounces off, that's on the wide receiver. That's on. I mean, and you could say maybe it was too fast. Maybe, it was, behind this and that. But if it gets in the hands from an old coach, I used to coach Little League, and you just tell if it touches your hands, what excuse do you have? You had a shot. This is what you're here for. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.